A teacher at Forest Park Elementary School in Indiana thought it would be a genius idea to, quote, banish a 7-year-old student from sitting with other kids at lunch because he didn't believe in God. Brilliant move. Brilliant move. So the Washington Post says, quote, second grade teacher Michelle Meyer interrogated the student, who was identified with the initials AB, about his religious beliefs after he told his classmates on the playground that he did not go to church because he did not believe in God. As a result, the child was ordered to sit by himself during lunch for a 3-day period. Her actions caused great distress to AB and resulted in him being ostracized by his peers past the 3-day banishment. That's totally unsurprising. Miss Meyer required that AB sit by himself during lunch and told him he should not talk to the other students, and stated that this was because he had offended them. Right. He offended. It's not you that's offended, it's the kids that are offended. And wouldn't you be offending him by making him sit away from them? Do you care about the fact that he might be offended? No, I know. He doesn't count now because he's an atheist. So this served to reinforce AB's feeling that he had committed some transgression that justified his exclusion. AB came home from school on multiple occasions crying, saying that he knows that everyone at school, teachers and students, hate him. Even now, AB remains anxious and fearful about school, which is completely contrary to how he felt before the incident. So, the family sued, which I say, good, you should, and the school district even came out and said, yeah, upon learning the facts of this story, oh, goodness. It's clear that under the Constitution, the teacher cannot do this, and it's not right for them to do this, and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, man. You got to make an example on this issue. You have to. Because, unfortunately, we've covered, 3-4 different stories in the past year or two, and these are just the ones that made the news, with similar bullying like this happening because a kid's an atheist. Now, I think people like you, if you listen to this show, there's a high percentage chance that you're a non-believer. You might not directly see or feel the anti-atheist discrimination and sentiment out there, but it's real. And you have to understand that not everybody has, I guess you'd call it a platform, even though it's just a YouTube channel, but we have a good number of followers, so not everybody's me, where if somebody makes fun of you and you're a little kid and you don't believe in God or whatever, the kid's not going to know, you're making fun of me? You believe in the book that's got a flat earth in it and 7-headed dragons. You're the silly person. Not every kid knows how to flip it. Not every kid knows how to defend it. Not every kid, has thick skin in a social context and can get over the fact that some people might not like them. So what we're faced with is a situation where atheists are just simply a picked-on minority in many places. I mean, there are 7 states right now where on the books it's illegal for an atheist to run for office. Now, thankfully, that's clearly unconstitutional, and should anybody challenge those laws, they would fall immediately because it's crystal clear, what the answer is, and the answer is that that's unconstitutional. But the fact that it's still on the books says something about the attitude of people all around America. I mean, what is it? Over 70% of the country is Christian, and actual atheists, it's only about 3% or so. Now, over 20% is non-religious, but non-religious is not the same as atheist. That's a much broader category, non-religious. You could still believe in God, but not be part of a specific religion. You could have spiritual beliefs or whatever. Atheists, people who say, no, I actively don't believe in God, that's a much smaller percentage, and they do face more discrimination, and here's another case of it right here. We have a kid who is just, look, I don't believe that, and what happens? The teacher, who's supposed to be the more responsible, more respectful one, said, go sit outside. Well, the problem is not the kid. The problem is you. And finally, let me say this. The brilliance of secularism is that it's neutral. It's neutral. So what that means is secularism doesn't come in with a gun and force you to not be a Christian, or force you to not be a Muslim, or force you to not be a Hindu, or force you to not be Buddhist. You can be whatever the fuck you want to be with a secular state. But the key thing is the neutrality is not open for debate. It's an uncompromising neutrality. So in other words, what that means is, while you're allowed to be whatever the fuck you want to be religiously, you cannot, if you're a Christian or if you're a Muslim or if you're a Buddhist or a Hindu or whatever, you cannot take your religion and force it via the government onto everybody else. And that's exactly what this teacher is doing. You don't believe in God? You don't believe in Christianity? You don't believe in my God? ostracized. And you make the kid cry, you make the kid feel bad, all the other kids gang up on the kid because they don't know any better. They're just little kids playing follow the leader, and the teacher's the leader. So what you've done is, in effect, you have made it so that we have a forced version of Christianity or deism on this poor kid who doesn't believe. The problem is not the kid. The problem is you. You need to learn a thing or two about secularism and abide by it, or lose your fucking job.